Hey guys, Brian delivers you the goods here, returning to you pretty late tonight for this TV show review for Star Wars The Acolyte, Episode 7 review for choice that I got a chance to watch for myself to see how I was going to think of this episode overall. So I'm going to discuss what I watched for the episode, which was a little lengthier of an episode, but it's another flashback, and it's like, okay, yeah, I guess show another flashback, I guess. So let's dive into this episode review, and I'll let you know my thoughts on the episode overall. Now, with this one, I felt very bored with it. Like, I just didn't find it interesting. Some points were compelling, but the execution was the main thing. This show is such a flop, big time. As of lately, the show is proven to kind of bum me the fuck out, big time, and piss me the fuck off too, with episode five's disaster of an episode, in my personal opinion. But I know a lot of people said the fifth episode was the best episode. I'm like, not really. I personally had a different opinion. I felt that the characters that we were getting to know were killed off too easily. And this show was a fucking mess of a show. This show was a clusterfuck of cringe and garbage. Like, Star Wars is not the same. As of lately, the shows off Disney, I think they're pretty much tanking and failing script-wise, because it doesn't have an interesting thought or idea on what they want to do with how the script's going to turn out, and its execution fails miserably. So with this episode, I was thinking it was a bad episode. It just wasn't very bad, but it was just bad. I felt bored with this episode. I'm like, great, another flashback that we've already seen in episode 3 that I guess was necessary but disappointing. The third episode was a boring clusterfuck of a mess, and excuse my yawning. I'm going to be going to bed very soon, so with that being said, if I were to give episode 7 a score, it's going to get a 5 out of 10. It's probably worse than the third episode. I don't know, I just felt very uninterested and very bored with this one. I was like, okay, 43 minutes of, oh, well, I'm going to start a fire, and it's going to... Basically, she was influenced to start that fire. So, May was. She was told to start that fire and get Osha to not leave. So, basically, it just... This show is like, oh, what the fuck? What the fuck is this shit? Basically. So, I am sorry for my yawning. I've had a day at work, and I gotta do another day and another day after that. So I'm working up till Friday night, and then I'm not going back to work again till Sunday. So pretty much, for a score, yes, 5 out of 10 for me for the new Star Wars: The Acolyte Episode 7 for this review. I just felt very uninterested with this episode and very, like, bored out of my mind. Like, this show has really set itself up to dwindle and fail big time. So, this is not a good show. I will tell you that. It is not going to be something I'm going to remember come later on as the rest of 2024 plays out. So, pretty much, for a score. 5 out of 10 for episode 7 for this review. I don't know, I was telling Soul's side of the backstory of how it all started with them looking for life on the planet Brendock. It just, I don't know, it just went into this cringiness of, oh, these characters are a virgins or something like that. It's like interesting, but it still doesn't really say much. It's like, okay, this show is just, it's just a failure. So this was a big misfire of an episode. Not the worst, but it's a bad one. So with that being said, hopefully you enjoyed this episode 7 review. 5 out of 10 for this episode. Thanks for watching this episode review tonight. Have a good night.